Identifying
The king of cakes. Chopper for the win.
G'day guys, welcome back to Cakes by Chopper. Today we have an elephant for you in the likeness of Dumbo. You'll need to print off the template from the Cakes by Chopper Facebook page, as well as make the Rice Krispie treats. Links are in the annotation above, as well as the description. Cut out the template using the ear, reverse one side, so you've got a left ear and a right ear, cover them with ganache and pop them in the fridge to set. This is going to let them firm up a bit so they stand freely on their own. Then cut out the first round shape of the body, which is his hips and his feet. And then you're going to trim off the hips and cut out another shape of that, because you're going to build his body up in stages. Then you're going to cut out a third middle piece, which is just the oval, and then two halves to build up his cheeks. Using your carving knife, taper his front leg down to the front of his toe at the bottom, and then use that to build up his feet going up to his neck. Then you're going to fill that with the buttercream. Place all the pieces back on top, give it a crumb coat. Now this isn't quite high enough for what we need, so we're going to use Rice Krispie treats to build up the top of his head. So we're not using too much weight on the cake, and it'll stop your cake from sagging and getting compressed. So once you've got it all covered in buttercream, you can just cut the Rice Krispies to the shape you need, and then give that a crumb coat over the top. And just use the buttercream to smooth it out and round it off. As you can see here, it's quite easy. Just pack it on and then smooth it out, and you have your cake with not much weight at the top. I also wanted to build his bottom up a little bit, so I used Rice Krispies there as well, and then put a skewer down the center just to keep it a bit sturdy and stop it from leaning over. In the center oval of the template there is a circle, the other sides for his feet. Just cut them out and then place them on, as well as his trunk and his cheeks. Finish off your crumb coat and then pop it in the fridge to set. I would suggest making it as smooth and neat as you possibly can before you let it set too much, and then it'll save you less trouble when you're putting the fondant on. This fondant looks a little bit purple, but I assure you it's grey. I rolled that out, placed it over the top, and then working very quickly, I smoothed it down over the front. Pay attention to the front and the back. At the side you can let these little folds join because the ears hide those. Cut off the excess, and then use some sculpting tools or your fingers to push in the fondant around where all the creases would be. Now's a good time to add any detail that goes around the trunk, around his feet or his cheeks, and clean up the bottom area of your cake. Now, using 2 parts white and 1 part grey, I lightened up some for his toenails, and then just cut out semicircles and put a couple on the front and then 3 on the side of his feet. I think this just adds a little extra cuteness to it. And around the bottom of his feet you can use the impression tool to line off a circle, and it's these little details that really change a cake. I also put some wrinkles in the front of his joints where his knees would be. For his eyes I used some egg white icing. It's the egg whites and icing sugar, and then I let it set. I made these when I made the AT-AT Walker. You can use fondant, just cut it out in a circle and then paint his eyes on. And don't forget to add the 2 little dots in the center to just bring his eyes to life. Pop on 2 cute little eyelashes, it just helps with the cuteness of it all. Paint in his mouth and trace around his trunk. You don't want to do too much black detail on it because I think it takes away from it. So I only do what's necessary. Now pull your ears out of the fridge, give them a buttercream coating at the back, roll out some pink fondant, and you're going to cut out the lemon pointed shape and place that on top of the ganache, because we're going to give the ears a pink coat in the center. I rushed these ears a little bit. I wish I would have spent a bit more time on them, so I urge you to do that. I was fighting against the heat and the humidity. When you've placed it on top of your fondant, fold the pieces over and glue it down with a little bit of water. Do the same for both sides, keeping an eye on which is the left and which is the right, and then they'll stand up right next to your cake. I would do this just before serving it, and there you go, you have your elephant cake. If you like this cake, why not share it with a friend, or check out some of my other videos in the meantime. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.